Welcome, everyone, to back. All right.
If you get to do it, I do too then.
Welcome, everyone, back to another episode of Manufacturing Happy Hour. I'm Jake Hall, the co-host with Chris today, and with us is Nick from Smart Vision Lights. Now, Nick,
Hello.
I've known you for a few years now, and it's great to just have you on a conversation as well. But to kick things off, how long have you been in the automation industry for? And then tell us more about Smart Vision Lights and what you guys are doing.
Yeah, so I've been in the automation world, particularly on the vision side of things, for probably going on 5 years. I got my feet wet at a company where I programmed Cognex cameras with lights for high-volume inspection systems. And then I came to Smart Vision Lights about a year and a half ago, started as the regional sales manager for the Midwest region, and then about 4 months ago took over as the director of sales.
Awesome.
Smart Vision Lights, we're celebrating our 15th year this year in business, so pretty big milestone for us. Still privately held. The owner of the company still sits in his lab in the back making all these crazy lights and come up with pretty cool concoctions. It's been a pretty good ride.
Awesome.
We like to, on Manufacturing Happy Hour, we were talking about this before we hit record, discuss things as if we're having a drink, right? Simplify complex topics, right? In this industry, it's very easy to picture what robots do because you see them running around, right? Vision isn't as easy to, pun intended, visualize, right? Because
Correct.
It's more of what's going on in the background that's allowing robots to do what they do. So what would you say, if you were to describe vision as simply as possible in terms of what it's accomplishing for robots to do now, how would you describe that?
That's a really good question. I think we take for granted a little bit having been in the vision industry, and we can understand and visualize it. And now having to explain, okay, well, what does that mean? So to me, I'd say the easiest explanation is picture yourself in a situation where you need to, tell the difference between, blue or green, and it's dark in your closet and you're trying to get ready. I can't tell when it's dark, So, but when you turn the lights on, you're like, oh, yeah, there it is. I can actually see the difference. I would say that's the most real-life example I have is you're trying to tell a camera to do something, and it can't really do it without the correct lighting. But those variables can all be different. Are you looking for bright field or dark field? So you need it front lit, side lit, and it depends on the features you're trying to pick out.
And then to simplify that even more, I mean, that's what allows the robots to see, right? You provide the lighting and make it so that the camera is able to differentiate between those things so that the robot can take the appropriate action from there.
Right. Yep.
And I think one of the things that we look at within vision from where it was 10 years ago when I was doing a lot of vision installations integration to where it is now, AI and machine learning has really taken the forefront of vision applications and solving inspection and quality solutions. What other technology out there would you see? It's not just a single light looking at a product anymore. There's a lot more to vision that's making applications more diverse and really being able to dive into difficult processes. Can you talk more about the evolution of what we've seen in vision in the last few years, especially how it's related to lighting?
Yeah, in particular the lighting, I would say, people are expecting more and more out of, a smaller package, or they're expecting more brightness out of a smaller package. Feels like a good segue. Can I talk about things that Smart Vision Lights is doing or developing? That is one of the main problems that we were trying to solve when we came out with a new light called the Do-All light is, the demands for inspections are getting higher. But people also don't want more robots, more cameras. It's how do we get it into one smaller package? And that was kind of the whole idea behind the Do-All light was we've got multiple lights built into one, and you can do it at the end of a robot with one camera. And if you've seen our demo with the Mustang, where you've got some bright field applications, you've got IR applications, you've got multispectral, you've got photometric, all coming out of one light and one robot and one camera.
Could we dive in a little bit of that multispectral? You put some other words out there too. What are all those in terms of what is the problem and why is that specific solution, applicable to that problem? It's like multispectral field, for example. What is that? And for people who are listening to this or watching it, can you clarify why would that be a solution to a specific application?
Yeah, I'll just break it down into the demo that we've got. We're using Multispectral on the demo with a monochrome camera and with some software integration. You can pull out a color image and still use a monochrome camera where you still have the higher pixel density of the monochrome camera where you've got other inspections you'd like to do. So with that, we're flashing a red, green, and a blue light at a wiring harness, and you can still pull out all the different colors in the wiring harness by flashing those different lights and putting some software overlaps in there.
So a black and white camera, which is a monochrome for those of you who are not familiar with that, a black and white camera as an imager going onto that. And typically, black and white cameras have a higher resolution because we're not looking at the RGB of each individual segment. So a lot of times you can get twice the resolution on a typical monochrome. But by taking different wavelengths of light, the monochrome camera is accepting that light. I'm then able to kind of reverse engineer. Would that be a correct terminology? Reverse engineer what that process is?
Yeah, it's an after the fact. After it gets the image, it's taking some learning that you teach it of, okay, well, this is green, this is blue, based on the information it's gathering from the image.
Let's maybe wrap up with like a real world example, and we'll talk about this in the context of the next year. You know, we're looking at adoption in the manufacturing space, the warehousing space for robotics and vision solutions. You know, I was going to say, hey, what's your prediction for the next year in terms of where technology is going to go? But I think the more important question is, how are people going to adopt what's already there, right, and the solutions that are there? Where do you see people venturing into leveraging your solutions, leveraging vision, robotics, lights in general to do more with their factories today?
Adopting, I would say, new technology right away. I think from even me starting at Smart Vision Lights a year and a half ago, we've come up with some pretty incredible new technology, and I've seen people not really hesitate on adopting new technology like I have in the past. Now they're like, "What's new, and can I have it, and can I put it in production?"
Interesting.
I would say it's pretty incredible. We're working on a few projects right now where the light is technically not even launched or released yet, but we've got some high volume customers who are like, yep, I want that, I need that. How do we get it implemented into our warehousing systems?
Excellent.
But I think some of that comes with, you know, having a reputation and trust within the industry. It might be a different story if we were new to the game, for sure. But I think people with reputable names are being adopted with new technologies right away.
Yeah.
From what I'm seeing.
Well, we appreciate you jumping on, taking our barrage of tricky questions and giving us some insight into the industry. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was a joy.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, thank you.